So you've heard about the carnivore diet. Maybe you're already on keto and you want to jump in. What's my advice? Well, if you haven't started keto yet or carnivore yet and you are still on the standard American diet, my strong advice is to go ahead and start keto first. You can transition to low carb as its own journey, and then once you're in low carb, take that final step into carnivore, and I think you're going to have a better time than coming so joltingly straight into carnivore. Okay, it'd be like learning how to drive a car and then later learning how to drive a stick shift car. If you're learning a stick shift and how to drive and the rules of the road and everything all at the same time, it can be a little jolting. Going from the standard American diet to keto is a fairly simple transition. Now, you are going to be detoxing off of sugar because you're not going to be eating anything with overt sugar in it, like a donut, but you're also not going to be eating anything that behaves as sugar because it eventually becomes sugar in your body, such as pasta, grains, rice, a million other things. But instead, you're going to just lean into the foods that you can eat that you do enjoy. My classic example is like a hamburger, right? A standard American diet eater will eat bun to bun, everything. Coming to keto is so simple because all you're doing is getting rid of the bun, keeping the meat, keeping the cheese, keeping the onion, keeping the guacamole, keeping the bacon, and not eating the bun, as I mentioned, but also the ketchup or some sugary spread. But if you want to add some ranch, you're fine. Done. Okay. Are you suffering? I mean, that's really not that bad. And there's a lot of wisdom out there on how to start keto. If you want to go back to my older videos from 2019 when I was transitioning to keto from the standard American diet, there's a lot of resources there. Okay. Adjusting off of sugar is its own thing. It's like learning how to drive is its own thing. Okay. You're going to go through some adjustments. You're going to let go of a lot of electrolytes probably because your body is no longer inflamed and your kidneys are letting go of a lot of fluid. They call it the whoosh. And that's why you lose a lot of weight in the early days. You're really just de-inflating with all the fluid that you've been inflamed with. But along with that fluid is going to go a lot of electrolytes. So in the description below, I'm going to post, or you can search in my older history, there's a great video on how to make your own electrolyte water because you really got to keep up with that salt, the magnesium, the potassium, basically Gatorade minus sugar and yellow number 402 or whatever it is. Okay, so once you're going from the standard American diet to keto, you're going to see some improvements. Then when that starts running out of steam, you want to go to the next level, or your goal from the beginning was to end up in carnivore. Going from keto to carnivore is a much simpler hop step because you're already in the water. You already know, you're already driving a car. Now you're just learning how to drive a stick shift car. Okay. And the good news is just as the keto version of a burger, okay, lettuce wrapped with bacon and no bun and all that, is inside the standard American burger, okay, the carnivore burger is inside the keto burger. You're just going to eat the meat and the bacon, and if you want, the cheese. And then if you want to go one last step to the lion diet, now you get rid of the bacon and the cheese and you just eat the beef. Okay, so you just get simpler and simpler and simpler. Now, obviously, you're not just going to eat burgers on keto, but I'm just saying, as a representation of that entire food class, that bun food class is gone. You're left with what's left, and so on. So take that first step first. It's a really simple step. It's a substitution diet. It's a lot easier getting rid of something you've leaned into for comfort, like sugar. If you can lean then immediately into something else that you also lean into for comfort, which would be the fats and other sweeteners and tasty things that are non-sugar mimicking, things like monk fruit sweetener and different things that people use on keto to keep the habits going of the standard American diet while swapping out a much less harmful version of it. Okay, you're not going to be eating cupcakes, but you might get an almond flour cupcake, something like that. Now, Once you've transitioned over, now you're going to the last step. Well, it's time to get rid of those treats. It's time to get rid of those crutches. And now you're going full blown into a no carb lifestyle. And I very much recommend it. I think you're going to, one time in your life, spend 30 days doing it and really decide from there if you ever go back. But yeah, that's my recommendation, guys. So if you need help, you want more information, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see in my next video. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going as it comes to mind, and eventually I'll cover it all. But it's been quite a journey the past few months. Stutter stopping from keto into carnivore. In fact, that's why they've invented the term ketovore, because there's a lot of us that for a minute there, it's like, oh man, we try carnivore and we slip. We slip, but we don't slip back to the American diet. We slip back to keto. And it's not really even a slip. It's just, if we are truly trying to see what it is like running super clean, a true elimination diet, then our goal is obviously to move forward. So anyway, hope that helps, guys. A lot more to come. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get my story out there to join the chorus of others. I think there's a graduating class of people like 2019, 2020 that hopped into keto, that maybe it's gone as far as it can go by now, and carnivore might be the next step for you. Or you might be the kind of person that wants to hop straight into carnivore. Okay, I'm going to have another video on some tips and tricks when it comes to adjusting your bowels, because that's the big thing. Remember Joe Rogan? If you saw his video talking about the explosive diarrhea or whatever he said, there's a reason for that. So hang tough. I'm going to have my own poop video. So if that's not a reason to subscribe, I don't know what is. You don't want to miss that one. All right, guys, take care. Bye.